Hey guys, welcome to the Acteering Magic channel. I'm Steve, the Actery. Today we're going to be talking about Golos Tireless Pilgrim. Now, before we get into that, I want to let you know that whenever we get to 200 subscribers, I'm going to have a surprise giveaway for you all. I'm super excited about how fast the channel is growing, and I wanted to say thank you. So stay tuned for that. It's a custom build that I'm working on with my brother, and I can't wait to show you what it is. But anyway, let's talk about Golos Tireless Pilgrim. So he is a 5 generic 3/5 legendary artifact creature scout. How many scouts are there in the Magic game? Anyway, when Golos Tireless Pilgrim enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. 2 generic and Warburg, white, blue, black, red, and green. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without playing their mana costs. Cool. Okay, so this guy's degenerate. You guys certainly hate fair magic, don't you? You do. So combo number 1. Today we're going to do a little bit something different. We're going to go over 5 combos that exist in this deck archetype that you may want to include. These do not actually use Golos, but they are very commonly used in the Golos deck. So let's talk about them. Combo number 1 is the most convoluted of them all, and this is Teferi Temporal Archmage. If you're not familiar with Temporal Archmage, I had to look up the infinite combo. It's a little bit complex, but it's a 2 blue, 4 generic, and he says look at the top 2 cards of your library, and you may put one in your hand, the other on the bottom of your library, but we're concerned about untap up to 4 target permanents, that -1 ability there. So we can use that 5 times before he dies. -10, you get an emblem, you may activate loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control, and on any player's turn, anytime you can cast an instant. Okie dokie. So he can be your commander, but we're not going to talk about him as a commander. So the combo includes the Chain Veil. So the Chain Veil is a 4 generic legendary artifact at the beginning of your end step. If you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a planeswalker this turn, you lose 2 life. Not going to be an issue. 4 generic tap. For each planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as though none of its abilities have been activated. If we untap the Chain Veil, we can tap and activate it again. So meaning that in our case, if we happen to activate the Chain Veil twice, we can use Teferi's abilities total for the turn 3 times. If we have tapped the Chain Veil 5 times, we can use Teferi's abilities a total of 6 times for the turn. So that is to include new planeswalkers that enter the battlefield after we've gone through all of our Chain Veil activations. So let's talk about it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to tap Chain Veil, generating one of these activations. We have activated 1 time. Next, we are going to use Teferi's untap ability to untap the Chain Veil, maybe some of the Karoo lands, 2 of the Karoo lands, and maybe a Soul Ring. So we're untapping 4 permanents. Some of them need to tap for multiple mana. We can do it with barely just 4 mana untapping every time, but we don't generate extra mana on each activation, so that's not ideal. We'd rather tap for 5. So 2 of them should probably tap for 2 mana. So we can untap these 4 permanents. Next, we are going to activate the Chain Veil again. Untap it again. Untap the 4 permanents again. Activate the Chain Veil, activate the Chain Veil, activate the Chain Veil, activate the Chain Veil. We have activated the Chain Veil 5 times, and our Teferi goes to the graveyard. Now, in our example above here, if we've done this 5 times, that means then that we've produced 6 mana here, and then we've used 4 of it to activate the Chain Veil. So we've netted, every time we've done this cycle, we've netted 2 mana. And it's blue, red, green, or white, whatever we need. And so we're going to go ahead and take that 4 mana after we've had 5 activations of the Chain Veil, and we're going to cast something like Faith's Reward or Brought Back. Either one of these is going to return Teferi to the battlefield, and we're going to get a brand new copy of Teferi. Now, what does this mean? It means that we can do this again, but we can do +1/-1 repeatedly. Okay, so we're going to start digging through our library at an incredible rate. So whenever he comes back into play, we can go, oh man, this is such a hard combo to remember. So whenever he comes back into play, now we've got 6 activations that we can use it for. We can use 1 to untap our Chain Veil and our mana. And so they untap. Then we use our +1, but that means now that we're going to get another Chain Veil activation. So we can go and activate Chain Veil again now, but we're generating mana. So now we can always plus or untap our Chain Veil triggers and then keep adding new Chain Veil triggers to it and keep adding more mana to it because we're going up 1 and -1, up 1, -1, up 1, -1. We can do this a stupid amount of times. Then we can take all of that mana and go back to Golos and just cast whatever we want off the top of our library. It's kind of dumb. Okay? We'd prefer to have a black mana in there somewhere, but we may not have it. So that's kind of dumb. That's a combo that's run in this deck. Next, let's talk about the next combo, because this video is going to get long. We have combo number 2, Scapeshift and Maze's End. Scapeshift is a 4-drop, 2 green, 2 generic. Sacrifice any number of lands. Search your library for that many land cards and put them onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle your library. Maze's End. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to float our mana with Scapeshift. We're going to sacrifice 10 lands. It requires mana ramp, which is not going to be an issue with Golos because we need a ramp anyway. It says Maze's End enters battlefield tap. So we're going to use Golos to find Maze's End. And we're going to pay 3 and tap, return Maze's End to his hand. So we're going to go find 9 pieces, 9 gates from our library. And with Scapeshift, and we're going to put them into play tapped. Then we're going to use the last gate in our library to go find that gate with Maze's End, and then it says if you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So we go and get 9 of the gates with Scapeshift, and then we get the last one with Maze's End, and we win the game. That's how we win. Okay, that's silly. Next up, and we can also do this with Reshape the Earth. Again, we're going to be ramping. We should be able to do this. Next up is combo number 3. This is a Peregrine Drake combo. So, with Peregrine Drake, he's a 1 blue, 4 generic, 2/3. When Peregrine Drake enters battlefield, untap 5 lands. Whenever Eldrazi Displacer is a 1 white, 2 generic, colorless creature that says 2 generic and a colorless, exile another target creature, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control, tapped under its control. Okay, so Peregrine Drake needs to have one of its mana be a generic colorless. And then we can untap that land whenever Peregrine Drake comes back into play. We tap those 5 lands again. We're going to net 2 mana, and we're going to keep going. Infinite, infinite, infinite. So we're going to make infinite mana and cast everything off the top of our library with Golos. Now, there are replacements for these effects. Peregrine Drake can be replaced with Palicron. It's an older card. It's a very, very expensive card. It's like, I think, $100. It's a reserve list card, but it untaps 7 lands when it enters the battlefield. We can replace Eldrazi Displacer with Deadeye Navigator instead of actually flickering the Peregrine Drake with the activated ability there. We're going to get an activated ability on Peregrine Drake whenever it's soul bond to Deadeye Navigator for a blue and a generic. Exile this creature, then return to the battlefield under your control. Easy peasy. Next up, we have Dockside Extortionist. We can replace Peregrine Drake along with... So Deadeye Navigator will work with Dockside Extortionist or Peregrine Drake. The Eldrazi Displacer will not work with Dockside Extortionist because Dockside Extortionist will not add any colorless mana, so just be aware of that. So we need at least 5 artifacts for Dockside Extortionist to work in the same manner that Peregrine Drake does. Okay, also if you have Dockside Extortionist combo and you have something like, if you have Alter the Brood will mill your opponents infinitely because now Dockside Extortionist is putting permanents in play under your control. Similarly, Peregrine Drake will enter the battlefield infinite times, so you can do Alter the Brood for both of these combos. Next up, Thassa's Oracle. It's a 2 blue, 1/3. When Thassa's Oracle enters your battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library where X is your devotion to blue. Put the one up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. This is a silly card. I can't believe you printed it. Wizards, what are you thinking? Okay. Anyway, so with Thassa's Oracle ability on the stack, she's entered the battlefield, and this ability goes onto the stack. We're going to respond to her ability, holding priority, respond to her ability, and we're going to go Demonic Consultation. Name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game. Then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal the named card. Put that card in your hand. Remove all the other game cards in your library from the game. So you name a card that's not in your deck, say Goblin Guide, and then you cast Demonic Consultation. Look for Goblin Guide, which isn't in the library. Now you're removing those cards from the game, so you're not drawing them, so you won't die to Demonic Consultation. Then Demonic Consultation is finished resolving. Thassa's Oracle checks to see that you have no library, and you win the game. Demonic Consultation can be replaced with Tainted Pact. It's 1 black, 1 generic. Exile the top card of your library. You may put that card into your hand. Unless it has the same name as another card, exile this way. Repeat this process until you put a card in your hand, or you exile 2 cards with the same name, whichever comes first. So you're not going to put a card in your hand, and you don't have 2 cards with the same name because you just don't, because it's Commander. You just don't. And if you do, shame on you. And there are other things you can do to replace Thassa's Oracle. I believe one of the Jaces does it too, so he wasn't included in this list. All right, combo number 5 is the Felidar Guardian combo. There are a bunch of different variations of this combo, but it's 1 white, 3 generic, Cat Beast, 1/4. When Felidar Guardian enters the battlefield, may exile another target permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If we target Golos with Felidar Guardian, we're just going to get another land. However, if we target Saheeli Rai with Felidar Guardian, we can get new copies. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Saheeli Rai, then we're going to play Felidar Guardian. Felidar Guardian is going to flicker Saheeli Rai and bring her back to the battlefield. Now she's going to reset on her loyalty. She's going to -2, create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That token gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. So the new copy that she's making of Felidar Guardian is going to exile her, bring her back, exile, and we're going to make another one, exile her, bring her back, exile her, bring her back, and etc., etc. So we're going to have infinite 1/4 Cat Beast artifact tokens with haste that get exiled at the end of the turn, and then we swing for the win. That's how she works. Now there's variations on the same theme. Saheeli Rai and Restoration Angel does not. You can use Felidar Guardian with Saheeli Rai or Restoration Angel. Saheeli Rai and Restoration Angel do not work together because Restoration Angel exiles a non-angel creature, so it won't exile a planeswalker. Bear that in mind. All right, guys. Now you can go and find a whole bunch of different variations on this combo. There's Kiki Jiki in Restoration Angel. There's Splinter Twin in Restoration Angel. There is not Splinter Twin and Restoration Angel. Splinter Twin and Deceiver Exarch. Splinter Twin and Pestermite. There's all kinds of variations of the infinite creature, hasty creature combo. I call it the Splinter Twin combo. And so you can fit all of those into your Golos deck. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this breakdown of 5 of the most commonly played combos in Golos. This is what I could find from EDH Rec. I hope you like this video. It's a new type of video that we're going to be doing here. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a great day. Deuces! Deuces.